Hey everyone, this is editor Bill Hernandez at rockbandreviews.com here in Miami. And today, very excited to talk with Michael Bluestein, the talented keyboardist of the iconic rock band Foreigner. Now, Foreigner, along with Styx and John Waite, will be performing live at the, I Think, Amphitheater on July 19th here in West Palm Beach, and in Tampa on July 20th at the Mid-Florida Credit Union Amphitheater. Thank you very much for talking with me today, Michael.
Yeah, happy to be here, Bill. You're welcome.
Now, I've been supporting Foreigner through John Lappin probably, God, I can't remember, probably 10, 12 years. Have talked with pretty much everyone, including Mick Jones, but this is our first conversation together, so I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, man, wow. Didn't realize you had been in the mix that long, but yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah, where have you been? I begged for you, man. I'm like, I've talked with Jeff probably 8 times already, you know, and there's only so much we can talk about with Jeff. So I got some fresh meat
cool.
here.
Well, thanks for your patience, and hopefully we can break some new ground here.
Awesome. I just want to know, like, from the beginning, how did you first get involved with music? And out of all the instruments to choose from, what drew you to becoming a keyboardist?
So it actually was, I think, in hindsight, a little bit arbitrary. There was, we moved into a house in Haverhill, Massachusetts when I was, I think, 4 years old, 3 or 4 years old. And there happened to be an upright piano there, which I didn't really touch for a while, but around 8 or 9, I started tinkering with it and kind of gravitated toward it, and I realized I could pick out some melodies on it, and that kind of made sense to me. And my mom was always a big proponent of the arts and music, and when she saw my interest, she offered to give me piano lessons, to find a teacher for me. And that's how it started. And so, but as I said, I think the fact that it was piano may have been a little bit arbitrary, because I just loved music, and had there been a guitar or maybe a drum set, I may be, I might have ended up on a different instrument as my primary instrument. I don't think that there was necessarily anything about piano as I look back, but I did fall in love with it. I got a little eight-month-old here on my lap. So.
I got an 11-month-old here, so I know what you mean.
You know the drill.
Yeah.
She's kind of chill right now, but there might be some sounds.
That's cool.
So and over the years, I've gotten really into guitar as well. I play a lot of guitar these days. When you're producing music, it's good to be versatile, to be able to pick up different instruments to lay down on your tracks and collaborations. So, I just was always a fan of music, got into singing later, and, I don't know that I was destined to necessarily become a keyboardist, but that's sort of the path that I ended up on. And, love the keyboards and love piano and all the different heroes that, who laid the groundwork. I'm a student of all of them, whether it's jazz guys like Herbie Hancock or Oscar Peterson, or, prog guys like Keith Emerson and Rick Wakeman, to more pop like Elton John, Billy Joel. I'm a fan of lots of different styles. So, but yeah, it's just, as long as it's great music, I'm a fan,
Now, how did you become connected with Foreigner?
Okay, so in early 2008, I was at NAMM, which is an annual music convention in Anaheim, California, and I ran into an old friend of mine who was playing keyboards with Foreigner at the time. But when he joined, he told the guys that he could only be a temporary solution for them. So, but he also said he would help find a replacement for himself. And so it was just good timing running into him. A light bulb went off for him, and he told me, hey, I'm glad I ran into you. I think that you would be a good replacement for me in the band. Would you like to come in? Is that something that you'd be interested in? Would you like to come in for an audition? So that's how that started. And at the time, I was playing keyboards with Enrique Iglesias, which was, a good gig. And he's a great guy, and we did a lot of international touring, and that was fun for a while. But when I auditioned and got the Foreigner I decided to make a change.
Now, are you more of a fan of the pop side of music or more of the rock side?
Uh, I would say that I like them both. You know, again, just if it's good, I'm into it. But you know, I mean, I grew up more on rock. You know, as a kid of the '70s, I would say, you know, I was more steeped in the classic Zeppelin, Who, Stones, of course, Foreigner, Pink Floyd. You know, Heart, Cheap Trick, all that stuff. You know, I definitely grew up on a lot of that stuff.
That's a really, really great mix of music there. All of that I agree with as well. And have you done any songwriting with Foreigner on maybe any upcoming new projects or anything?
I have not been, thus far, I haven't been a writer on Foreigner tunes. I've played on a lot of new ones. I've had some sort of maybe some production flares here and there, or, you know, input here and there, but not as a writer thus far.
Now, what equipment and gear do you typically use during live performance? Do you have a certain brand that you like to play?
So I use Mac computers, and I use a lot of software synths with Logic Mainstage. So two controllers that control a lot of the software synthesizers that are in computers. But I also do have a Chord Kronos keyboard and a Nord Electro keyboard.
Now, how do you think being a keyboardist adds to the overall sound and dynamic of Foreigner's music?
Well, keyboards were always a big part of the Foreigner sound. You know, there was definitely some prog, progressive music influence, you know, and that was, you know, that happened in the 70s. You know, Al Greenwood, the original keyboard player, was a big Keith Emerson fan, ELP. So he brought some of those prog keyboard influences into the tunes. And so, you know, keyboards are pretty, you know, obviously in the 80s keyboards became bigger and bigger, but even in the late 70s, you know, there were keys on almost every Foreigner tune. So, you know, keys are a pretty integral part of the sound.
Now having a child that is under a year old, do you travel with your baby, or if you don't, how is that separation while you're on the road?
Yeah, so my fiance does come out to gigs a lot and brings Emmeline, our daughter, with her. So, you know, we did a tour in Canada recently, and they came out. We were stationed in Calgary. We were set up in Calgary for a few days. So they got to come out for that. We'll be in the Boston area in early August. So they're going to come out. We had a couple of days off there, so I'll be seeing them. So, you know, they make trips out when the schedule aligns, that we have a little time off.
Now, for those that aren't familiar with a touring musician, what is a typical day like for you from when you wake up in the morning to, let's say, showtime?
Well, it starts with coffee. Coffee's a big part of the road. You know, people ask us at one of those recent meet greets, you know, what's one thing you can't live without on the road? Definitely, with some coffee drinks.
Oh, I'm with you, bro.
to get going. You know, there's some healthy stuff. As I've gotten older, I've definitely gotten healthier. I am not presently drinking alcohol at all. So, you know, I like to hit the gym. I meditate. I've been doing transcendental meditation for years now.
Nice.
You know, as I said, I play a lot of guitar too. So I have a little portable foldable guitar that I take with me so I can practice, play around on some of the longer stretches in the hotel room where we don't have to be anywhere. There's a lot of that. I like to get out and take a walk in whatever area we're in. You know, grab a meal or you know, a coffee or something out and about, and check out some local shops, thrift stores or whatever. So, you know, that's some of the stuff that tends to happen. You know, and then of course connect with the family, get on FaceTime, and, you know, connect with my girls back home.
Now, what advice would you give to aspiring keyboardists looking to pursue a career in music, especially in the rock genre?
I would say just, you know, learning a lot of tunes, or learning what came before, you know, all the classic piano and Hammond organ and Wurlitzer and, you know, classic synths. Just got to get really versed in playing those instruments.
Mm-hmm.
Learning a lot of songs, whether it's, you know, Elton John, you know, whatever, Billy Joel, or Boston.
It sounds like you got a singer there.
Yeah, she's getting pretty vocal here.
That's awesome, man. Michael, I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your touring schedule to talk with me again today. And once again, we're speaking with Michael Bluestein, keyboardist with Foreigner. And Foreigner, again, along with Styx and John Waite, will be at the I Think Amphitheater in West Palm Beach on July 19th. And on Tampa, Florida, July 20th at the Mid-Florida Credit Union Amphitheater. We usually always come back for the meet and greet. You guys usually sign guitars for charity or giveaways that we do. So when we're back there, I'll make sure to come and say hello so you can put a voice with the face.
All right, man. Yeah, I look forward to meeting you in person.
All right, wonderful, Michael. Thank you so much. And, safe travels on the road to you and the boys.
Yes, thanks, Bill. Good talking to you.
Thank you, buddy. Have a good day.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.